Okay, so this video is going to be about a couple things. It's going to be about Darth's double standard as far as how he treats others in his server, and also how he treats moderators in their server. It's also going to be about his standard for morality. Here's a little clip that I want you to listen to.
But you see, people think, and I'm not accusing you of this, people think if they throw down philosophical nomenclature that they get a get out of jail free card if they go, I start with my axioms. I have an axiom. You see? You and every other unbeliever, while you reject God's loving self-disclosure and his command to repent, so that not only can you be saved from the wrath of God that abides upon you right now, as it does all humanity, God saves you right now when you repent. He saves you right now from your darkness.
Okay, so when I listen to that, as well as many other clips, what I get out of that is that Darth is saying that I need to repent, or agnostics or unbelievers, atheists, they need to repent. Okay, now here's another clip.
Listen, I've done my job. I think I've thoroughly humiliated them.
Let me explain something to you. Well, I don't care what you think. I care what God says. Now, do you ever read Romans 9?
Okay, so there you heard Gary say, well, he was talking, and he said, well, I don't care what you think. And he also said, I've did my job. I've humiliated the atheists. Now, here's a little clip about his double standard.
All the issues of the server and how it's authoritarian and just like annoying me to death about how it's fucked, etc.
Well, what's wrong with people who own a server when they set the rules?
Yeah. So I mean, you can unmute him.
Who is he? Well, I know. Who is he to complain about any rules?
Would you like me to explain myself?
Sure. Explain to me. Do you know what the right of what? You ever heard of the concept of the right of private association?
I most definitely have.
Okay, good. Each server owner decides what type of relationships and interactions there will be and what the rules will be. Okay, so you have no grounds to actually complain.
Oh no, I'm not saying that you can't run your server the way you want to run your server. I'm just calling you a hypocrite because you say that this is a place for freedom of expression, and yet it seems to be that every single time somebody dissents, you seem to give them.
That's false. Could you do me a favor? Just push away the bomb. Stop inhaling the bomb. Let me know when your head clears, and then we can have an adult conversation.
Okay. Well, I'm not high. I'm not.
Well, then have you recently slipped and had a frontal lobe injury? Because your evaluation is simply categorically false. People do not get muted because they disagree like adults. People get muted because they are behaving badly.
Okay, well, as far as I could see, when you were having your conversation, oh, she's gone now. When you're having your conversation with that lady there, it seemed to me like you overtalked her constantly, and at no point was there any repercussions for your overtalking. There were many.
That's because I'm a mod in here, and that's because this is my room.
Okay, so you don't hold yourself to your standards then?
Okay, no. Okay, I have different standards because I run the room.
Okay, so you have
now listen. That's right. This is not an egalitarian channel. Were you confused and thought that it is?
Well, I just figured that a Discord server that calls itself Male Politics.
Wait a minute. Okay, you happen to be in the channel of Atheist Helpline. This is my channel. I asked you a question. Were you under the illusion that we're operating in an egalitarian way, kind of the way like a communist utopia would
Well,
run?
Yes, and if you let me explain that,
No, well, you're wrong. Then you are under a false illusion. This channel is a benevolent dictatorship.
why would anybody ever want to have a...
So what I got out of that was he was saying that any moderator should be able to moderate their own server any way they want, free as a bird, sky's the limit, and that nobody should complain about how the moderator is moderating the room. So now listen to this.
I think I can see it. Honestly, Duncan, I can see it coming from both sides. So I think it'd be better just if we try to just change up the way that we're talking to each other.
You're making me an equivalent of what Nate just did, repeatedly over talking.
Literally, what I'm doing, Duncan, is just playing your game. Like
I'm expecting an answer, SJ.
Okay, well,
she doesn't owe you an answer. She's not going to be bullied by you, you idiot.
Okay.
Well, let's just say, as we also, I just want to say hi also to Ethan, who's here. He's your friendly neighborhood.
Okay, so you're not so SJ, you're not going to answer me. Okay, fine. Then there's no why I should stay in this shit fest. See you later, SJ. You're a terrible moderator.
No, she's a good person.
SJ, you really messed up.
We love you, SJ.
I would prefer people who I can actually converse these things with.
Do you have a question for me?
He's just let him.
James, listen to me. You're being a terrible moderator, and I'm really getting irritated with you.
From everybody, so thanks.
Yeah, that's right.
Snake,
do you have a question?
He really is childish, and I'm thinking it would be nice to talk with somebody who would behave politely and reasonably.
Yeah, Darth, this is your last chance. Are you willing to stop interrupting?
Yeah, this will be your last chance. If you need.
Sorry, Darth wouldn't behave. So, anyways, I hope.
Okay, so what I'm getting out of this so far, I think Darth is trying to say that if you are a moderator, you should be able to operate your server any way you want, and no one should complain while they're in your server. Okay? That's what I'm getting out of it. But at the same time, Darth is as free as a bird to go into another server that belongs to another moderator, and he is as free as he wants to complain about how that moderator is operating the server. I mean, isn't this magical how this works?
I may be assertive. Sometimes I get a little bit miffed and angry. Sometimes I say, certain insults that maybe I shouldn't say. But, you have to feel I'm dealing. Because once in a while, when I'm angry at somebody, I may let a curse word out, which I shouldn't do. So instead of saying the other word, I say guana.
That's clever.
All right, so you heard him admit, he said that sometimes he uses words or insults when he shouldn't do it. He also uses words that he shouldn't say. Now I'm going to play a clip, which this was after he said both of those things. Here's the clip.
Okay, listen. All right, hey, mods, listen to me. I'll tell you right now, I'll just delete the server.
Don't.
I'm tired. I get a lot of invites. I'm going to start speaking right now. Anyone ever talks to me, I'll fucking delete the server. I want uninterrupted for 30 seconds.
Delete it, you want to go on.
Calm down.
Mute these assholes. Now, I am invited onto a lot of servers because I'm popular. Whether people like me or not, I simply don't care. But I am a plus to any server because it draws people listening to my debates, okay? What I expect is a minimum of civility.
Okay, now there's been a couple times where I've heard Darth actually use the golden rule or Matthew 7:12. Here's those clips.
Just making another assertion on top of an assertion.
Okay, well, I demonstrated by a reasoning process that the baseline of things that humanity considers good, like love your neighbor as yourself, things like that, are a reflection of how God made our minds, created mankind to have. In other words, like, for example, the old maxim, do unto others as you would do unto you. It's my position that the Christian God has endowed us with this as a part of our mental makeup. And people either choose to be consistent with that which God has ingrained in us, or they choose not to.
Okay, so what I'm getting out of this is his standard is treat others the same way you would treat yourself. But he did his job. He humiliated people. He doesn't care what you think. He thinks that in his server, he can moderate the server any way he wants, and nobody should complain. But if he's in someone else's server, another moderator, he is as free as a bird to complain to that moderator. And you should follow the golden rule, and you should repent. That's what I'm getting out of his statement so far. Thanks for listening.